Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question right now. What did you do with your yesterday? I don't mean what you planned to do. I don't mean what you dreamed of doing. I mean what you actually did. Because the key to mastering the art of daily excellence is understanding that the future is a harvest of the seeds you plant every day. See, most people are praying for success, but not living like they expect the answer. They want the breakthrough, but not the discipline. They want the promise, but not the process. But let me teach you something powerful. God doesn't bless laziness. God blesses diligence. Now, I'm not just talking about working harder. I'm talking about working wiser, working with intention. That means your daily routine, the words you speak, the thoughts you think, the actions you take, must be aligned with your purpose, because excellence isn't something you perform. It's something you embody. You see, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. That's why I tell people excellence is a decision, not a result. It's a decision you make every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it. Especially on those days, there's a principle I teach in my coaching. Repetition creates mastery. You can't master anything you're not willing to do over and over and over. That's why success is never owned. It's leased. And rent is due every single day, but let me warn you, daily excellence won't feel glamorous. It looks like turning off distractions. It looks like doing what needs to be done after the excitement wears off. It looks like keeping promises to yourself when nobody else sees it. And here's the real revelation. Daily excellence is an act of worship. When you operate in excellence, you reflect the Creator who designed you with greatness in mind. So, when you show up in integrity, when you deliver at your highest level, when you pursue mastery, you're not just achieving success, you're honoring your divine assignment. So I challenge you today, don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for applause. Start today. Start now. Because the person who commits to daily excellence will outgrow the person who only chases occasional success. Every single time. Consistency beats intensity every single time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that breakthrough moments, those powerful, high-energy, big-impact events, are the key to success. They believe that one viral moment, one perfect performance, one great day will change their lives. But that's not how greatness works. The truth is, it's not what you do occasionally that transforms your life. It's what you do consistently. Most people are addicted to intensity. They want to grind hard for 2 days and then crash for 5. They get excited, they burst into action, but they burn out because they don't understand the value of steady discipline. But let me tell you something powerful. God honors faithfulness, not flashiness. He rewards the person who shows up and stays committed, not the person who sprints and then disappears. If you want daily excellence, you must understand the principle of the seed. See, when a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. He waters it, he waits, he keeps showing up, trusting the process. That's consistency. It's showing up even when the results aren't instant. It's believing in the harvest even when the soil looks dry. Consistency builds something intensity never can. Character. Character is what sustains you when motivation fades. Character is what keeps you doing right when it would be easier to quit. And here's the truth. Your destiny is not built in the moments people applaud. It's built in the moments nobody sees. It's in the early mornings, the quiet sacrifices, the disciplined decisions. The reason many people never reach their potential is because they don't have the patience to be consistent. I coach entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders all the time, and they ask, Myron, what's the secret to getting results? And I always say, get consistent before you try to get creative. Stop chasing shiny objects and start mastering your routine. Master your habits, master your focus. Excellence is not found in the big stage moments. Excellence is formed when you show up for yourself day after day, when it's boring, when it's uncomfortable, when it's not Instagram worthy. Think about a sculptor working on a masterpiece. He doesn't create it in one mighty swing of the hammer. It's thousands of small, deliberate, consistent strikes that shape the beauty. That's your life. That's your business. That's your purpose. Small, daily actions done with excellence will always outperform occasional big efforts. Success is not an accident, and it is not a lottery ticket you win. Success is a habit. It's not something you stumble into. It's something you commit to day after day with purpose and precision. One of the biggest deceptions people believe is that successful people are just lucky or more talented. But if you look behind the curtain, if you study the lives of the people who truly operate in excellence, you'll discover this truth. They built their lives around habits that serve their purpose. Most people live by emotion. If they feel like working, they work. If they feel like quitting, they quit. But people of excellence live by principle. They've trained their minds and bodies to show up regardless of how they feel. And they don't wait for a moment to decide whether they're going to be excellent. They've already made the decision in advance. That's the power of habits. Let me break it down for you. Your habits shape your outcomes more than your goals ever will. It's easy to set a goal. Anyone can write down a dream, but very few are willing to construct the daily behaviors, the rituals, the mindset, and the discipline required to make that dream a reality. That's why I tell people, stop relying on hope and start building habits. Hope is good. Hope gives you vision, but only habits give you execution. And execution is what brings excellence. You've got to train your life like an elite athlete. Think about this. Champions don't just show up on game day and suddenly become excellent. They train, they prepare, they recover, they rehearse. They condition their bodies and minds to perform at a high level every single day. Their success is not just talent, it's training. And what is training? Training is just intentional habit building. Your morning matters, your environment matters, the people you surround yourself with matter, but more than anything, your routines, the things you do daily on purpose with focus. Those are the bricks that build the house of success. And if your habits are sloppy, don't be surprised when your results are sloppy. If your habits are average, your outcomes will never rise to excellence. And let me tell you this, you already have habits. The question is, are they helping you or hurting you? Are your current rituals setting you up for greatness, or are they setting you up for regret? You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the level of your systems. And if you want to master daily excellence, you have to design systems that reinforce who you are becoming. So decide today, who do you want to become? Then reverse. Engineer the habits of that person and start acting like it now. Start living from your future, not your feelings. Because when you build success into your habits, you don't have to chase greatness. You become it. Every day, you face countless decisions, some big, some small. But here's the truth that many overlook. Small decisions create massive impact. It's not the huge, life-altering choices alone that determine your future. It's the little choices you make repeatedly that set the course for your destiny. Think about it. Your life is the sum total of the tiny actions you take every day. What you eat, what you read, how you talk to yourself, how you spend your time, even the attitude you bring into each moment. These are all small decisions. And each one, by itself, may seem insignificant. But when compounded over weeks, months, and years, these small choices either build a foundation for excellence or build a barrier that blocks your progress. Let me illustrate this with something simple. Imagine you wake up and decide to skip breakfast just once. That might not seem like a big deal, right? But what if skipping breakfast becomes a habit? Your energy drops. Your focus weakens. You start to cut corners in other areas of your life. Suddenly, that small decision is now part of a pattern that influences your health, your productivity, and your confidence. This same principle applies in every area of finances, relationships, work ethic. The key to mastering daily excellence is to realize that excellence is formed in the micro moments, the moments when no one is watching, the moments when you're deciding whether to give 100% or settle for less, the moments when you choose discipline over distraction. Those moments are where your character is tested and shaped. This is why many people struggle. They underestimate the power of their small choices. They wait for the big aha moment, the sudden breakthrough, the perfect opportunity. But real success doesn't come that way. It comes through 1,000 tiny decisions, each reinforcing your commitment to your goals. I want you to start paying attention to those small decisions. Notice where your time goes. Notice what conversations you engage in, especially the ones inside your own mind. Are you encouraging yourself or tearing yourself down? Are you pushing forward or giving up early? Excellence is not an accident. It's intentional. And here's the good news. Small decisions are easier to control than you think. You don't need massive resources or perfect conditions. You just need awareness and commitment. You can decide right now to make better choices, better habits, better words, better actions. When you do this consistently, the results will blow your mind. So the question you must ask yourself is this: what small decisions am I making today that will either build my excellence or break it down? Master these, and you master your life. Because excellence doesn't happen overnight. It happens one choice at a time. Too many people let their emotions run the show. They wake up feeling motivated, so they attack the day with energy. But the moment that motivation dips may be because something didn't go their way, or they feel tired or discouraged. They stop. They give up, they say, I just don't feel like it today. The problem with this approach is that emotions are fleeting. They come and go like the weather, and if you base your progress on how you feel, you will always be inconsistent. To master daily excellence, you have to become purpose-driven, not emotion-led. Purpose is the anchor that keeps you steady when the storms hit. It's the deep why that pulls you through when your feelings want to quit. Purpose is what gives you a reason to get up, even when you don't want to. When you're purpose-driven, you understand that your feelings are temporary, but your commitment to your goals is permanent. Your emotions are influenced by external factors, things you often cannot control, but purpose comes from within. It's your internal compass. When you live by purpose, you are not at the mercy of every mood swing or setback. You're anchored in something bigger than the ups and downs of the day. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings or pretend everything is always perfect. It means you acknowledge your emotions, but don't let them dictate your actions. You learn to walk in faith and discipline even when your heart feels heavy or your mind is tired. Being purpose-driven also means setting clear, meaningful goals that resonate deeply with who you are. When your purpose aligns with your goals, every action you take feels intentional. You don't just go through the motions, you move with meaning. You have clarity about why you're doing what you're doing, and that clarity fuels your persistence. Another key is building a mindset that embraces discomfort. Excellence is not comfortable. Growth often feels hard. If you wait until you feel good to work, you'll never stretch beyond your limits. But when purpose drives you, you see discomfort as a sign you're moving forward. You understand that pain and challenge are part of the process, not a reason to stop. Purpose-driven people understand that discipline is a form of freedom. When you stick to your purpose, you build self-control and strength that protect you from the chaos of fleeting emotions. You create a life where you don't have to rely on motivation alone because your actions become rooted in your deeper why. So, to master the art of daily excellence, ask yourself, what is my purpose? Why am I doing this? What legacy do I want to leave? Let those answers be the fuel that drives you every single day. When purpose leads, emotions follow, but they never lead, and that's how champions are made, by choosing purpose over feelings every time. Excellence is not just about the actions you take or the results you achieve. It begins much deeper than that. It starts in your spirit, your mindset, and how you see yourself. Before excellence shows up in your work, your habits, and your attitude, it shows up in your identity and belief system. This is why I say excellence is spiritual before it's practical. Think about it. If you don't believe you were created for greatness, you will never fully commit to being excellent. Your spirit is like the root of a tree. If the roots are weak or unhealthy, the tree cannot grow strong, no matter how good the soil or how much water it gets. But when your spirit is nourished with the belief that you are made for more, that you have a purpose, that you are capable of excellence, your actions will naturally align with that truth. Many people limit themselves because they carry inside a false story about who they are. They see themselves as just average, or not good enough, or not meant for success. These stories are like chains that keep them trapped in mediocrity. But when you renew your mind and spirit with the truth that you are a unique creation, designed for impact and excellence, those chains begin to break. Spiritual excellence means recognizing that your value is not dependent on external circumstances. It means that your worth is inherent and that you have a responsibility to honor that worth by striving to be your best every day. When you operate from this place, excellence becomes a natural overflow of your self-respect and identity. This spiritual foundation also gives you resilience. When challenges come, and they will, you don't crumble because you know your identity is bigger than your setbacks. You have a confidence that comes from inside, not from outside validation. You understand that excellence is not a destination, but a journey of becoming who you were created to be. In practical terms, this means your attitude shifts. You start to treat your work, your relationships, and your commitments as sacred responsibilities. You take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit because you recognize that excellence requires balance and nurturing on all levels. When you embrace the spiritual nature of excellence, you begin to see your efforts as acts of worship. You realize that by doing your best, you honor the gifts and talents you've been given. This mindset transforms mundane tasks into meaningful rituals. It infuses your day with purpose and passion. So if you want to master the art of daily excellence, start by investing in your spirit. Feed your soul with positive affirmations, powerful truths, and a vision of your highest potential. Align your actions with the understanding that you are created for greatness. When your spirit leads, your practical efforts will follow, and excellence will become your lifestyle, not just your goal. As we wrap this up, remember this truth. Mastery of daily excellence is not reserved for the gifted few. It's available to anyone willing to commit consistently, purposefully, and with faith. It's about showing up when it's hard, choosing discipline over distraction, and knowing your worth beyond the highs and lows of emotion. Excellence begins in your spirit, grows in your habits, and is reflected in every choice you make, no matter how small. So today, decide to own your life. Decide that you will no longer wait for motivation or perfect conditions. Decide that your daily actions will honor the greatness inside you. Because when you commit to excellence every single day, you're not just building success, you're building legacy. Go forward now with purpose, be relentless in your pursuit, and watch how your consistent purpose-driven efforts transform your life and the world around you. Master the art of daily excellence, and greatness will become your new normal.